You are here because life feels fine. But you are done with fine. You know you are made for more. And you've asked, is this it? Too many times now. This isn't just another episode. This is your permission slip to turn fine back into fire. We're Charlotte and Kat, coaches through and through, but more importantly, real women who've been there. We help women come home to themselves and create a life that feels exciting, energizing, and completely their own again. Around here, we get real conversations, real stories, and real transformations from the women in our community who dared to go all in. If you're ready to stop existing, to stop settling for fine, and to start truly living, welcome home. Oh, we have got quite the episode for you today, everybody. So, what we really want to get into today is the fact that the only person who needs to take you seriously is you. And this, as with everything that we do, is directly from our hearts. But this one in particular, for me, I'm like, I don't have regrets. But if I could do one thing sooner, it would be to take myself seriously, to see my brilliance, to own my brilliance, to, kind of actually spend time looking at what value I bring and blowing while seeing it and taking it seriously and taking that into my day, into my business, into my life. And so it's quite the episode, hasn't it, Kat?
It is, and I'm really excited because when you kind of brought this idea to share to our audience today, I was like, absolutely. Like this is the goal that you wanted to hear, would have wanted to hear, I would have wanted to hear. And I'm excited for you to share the story you're going to share because it might be, well, it will be exactly what a lot of listeners need to hear. And just I can't wait to hear it, and then I can't wait to hear about the shift, the upgrade,
Mm-hmm.
and how you now totally take yourself seriously and in like just a such an upgraded, up-leveled way, and what that has therefore done for you.
Yeah.
So I just cannot wait to hear it. So shall we start at the beginning?
Let's
Tell me
start at
what
the
you
beginning.
mean by what, paint the picture for us, not taking yourself seriously. What does that mean? Give us some context.
Okay, so I was obviously I'd set out on building the Authentic Girls Club, and it was probably before you joined me as well. Like I was definitely in this, and I'd got this little idea, little
Keyword. We'll
dream,
touch on that.
and I was doing it. I was putting it out into the world. I was doing some incredible things. However, consciously, boom, yes, I was doing that, but subconsciously. I was just a stay-at-home mum with that silly little idea.
Another keyword, just
Yeah,
drop
yeah,
that in, just
just
and
yeah,
little. We'll come to that.
just silly little.
Little. Oof.
Okay. So, how was I showing up when I was just a stay-at-home mum with a silly little idea that I was just messing about with and putting out into the world? I was not taking myself seriously. I was not taking my business seriously. I was not taking up space. I was not seeing the absolute brilliance that I was achieving, even in those early days, from actually just putting my heart out there and bringing women together. Like I was dulling everything down, like everything. I'd have incredible ladies say incredible things to me, but was I taking it on? No. And I say this with such passion because I just wonder where I would be if I actually owned that in the beginning. And it's a
Mm.
journey to get there, it is. But I think this just shows the amount of kind of conditioning that we have and actually how it's so important to do this work, to change how we see ourselves and to decide to take ourselves seriously. And for me, this has happened in my life in business, but also in life, and taking myself seriously in terms of the wife I am, the mum I am, the friend I am, the daughter, sister I am. Like all of the things encompass in this, don't they? And it's really important to actually just sit with ourselves and actually look at actually, how do I see myself? How do I see my value? What does that look like? And then deciding to actually blooming well claim it, because we are magic, guys. There's
Let's
so much goodness.
let's unpack this. Do you
Yes.
think at the time you were aware that you were dulling, playing it
No.
small? No, okay.
Absolutely not. No.
What do you think was
And
going on there?
sabotage, keeping me small. Like I would take a few steps forward and then I'd stop myself. And I always like have this vision of like, always have like it's just me in the way. And I know I need to step aside and let myself through. And that's really easy to say. But without the awareness of knowing why you're in your own way, it's really
Mm.
hard. So actually to build that awareness and understand, why have I stood in my way? And back then it was because that was what I set out to be. I set out to be a stay-at-home mum. I didn't set out to be a business owner that was making huge impact in the world. And as much as I wanted that, like my subconscious, my nervous system, all of like who I was like behind the scenes and underneath hadn't caught up with that at all.
Wow, that's powerful, isn't it? Because
Mm,
consciously on a level you want a thing, but subconsciously your body, your nervous system, your programming is going, this doesn't feel safe, maybe,
yeah,
or just doesn't
absolutely.
feel, yeah, I'm not ready for this. Like your 5% the of the brain that is the dreams, the desires, the plans, the goals is going, come on, come on, come on, let's go. And the 95% is going, oh, hold on a minute, we haven't caught up.
Yeah.
So then
And we're
you step
driven
in your
by,
own way and self-sabotage.
exactly. And you've just smashed it like 95%. That is what
It's a lot.
we're driven by. Yeah, we're
Mm.
not, we can have these thoughts and these wants, these needs, these desires. But if we've not looked at that 95% that's actually taken us back the other way, oh my goodness. And that's
So,
where the work gets to be exciting, right? Because it's then going, right, okay. And I wonder actually, it's really interesting to talk this out because I'm like, it's been bit by bit, this journey. And I think the
mm,
really exciting part is I had to do it the long way because there wasn't something there that just spoke to me and said, like,
mm,
you can choose to upgrade your identity right now. And this is why I'm so passionate about it because, like, we have witnessed, well, one incredible woman in particular just recently, where she went through our instant identity upgrade. And within 1 month, she was living the majority of her vision board. Like, that is how quick this gets to happen. For me, it looked like a longer journey because I didn't have that. I had to
mm.
sit with and process and go through these, kind of, I was going so far and then pulling myself back. Why am I pulling myself back here? Unearth it, unearth it. Whereas actually, I wholeheartedly believe that if we decide to upgrade our identity and literally embody it, it's done. It's a done
Yeah.
deal. Like
It
we
doesn't have to
move
take long.
differently. No,
No.
no, it really doesn't. And that excites me. That really excites me.
And can we just shout from the rooftops here? Because this just feels really, really kind of right in this moment. Like why the inner work is so goddamn essential. Like if
Yeah,
we're saying here 5% is the excitement, the desires, the dreams, the goals, but we're running day to day on 95% of a subconscious program from conditioning, from our environment, from beliefs that we've been given, that we've kind of taken on in early childhood and we just got good at them. So they're just our default and it doesn't match up with that 5%, then doing the inner work, that's what we're doing here, guys, is we're tapping into that 95%, bringing it into the conscious so that we're living in alignment with those things that we actually want and changing that programming. Like
mm,
thoughts are not facts, belief
no,
are not facts until we choose to believe them. So with that in mind, that's the proof that we can change it. Like I have, and
yeah,
you have, we have collectively, our members do, completely reprogram how we see ourselves, how we see the world, what we see is possible for us. And as soon as we do that, that is our door into opportunity. That is our
yeah,
door into creation and being the creators of our own destiny. So, as you can probably hear in the sound of my voice, I'm super excited about this because let's just take a moment and just see it, Sharp, because I am just a stay-at-home mum with a silly little idea to I'm a female founder that's leading a global movement that is transforming women's lives.
Mhm.
That is, and I know you stand fully in that. And
Yeah.
I just want you to feel that.
Like, what a difference. And you can see, right, but just from listening and seeing those two things, how differently I would have been showing up in,
Yeah.
point A to how differently I now show up because of point B.
Yes.
And the beautiful thing is, like, B was already there when I was in A. Like, all the evidence was there very, very quickly. I was making huge impact. I was a female founder. I was doing it. What was it going to take for me to stand into that? And we just had this little conversation before, like one person across the world, like in a different country. Sometimes we wait and I'm like, what was I waiting for? Was I waiting for 10 or was I waiting for 20 before I stand in the fact that this is a global movement making shifts, like shifts with women all over the world? Like, what are we waiting for to claim that?
The evidence
And
is already there.
yeah, and it often is. And it's that choice to see it, to stand in it, and to also, I will say, find the safety
Mm.
of standing in it. And we get to do that for
Mm.
ourselves. Like I got to do that for myself. Like for me, kind of being a stay-at-home mum was my safe zone. It was what I knew. Being, that is a big shift. But actually providing myself with the evidence along the way, that is who I am now. That is what I do. This is the value I bring, made my nervous system, made my body just relax into it and see it. And we have to give ourselves that proof and that evidence to be able to obviously complete the shift as well.
We do. And while we're on the topic of identity, it's really important that we drop this in here, and that is that we will always act
Mhm.
in alignment with who we believe we are. So if we
Say that
believe
again.
we are, I'm going to say it again because it's really important. Tune in. We will always act in alignment with who we believe we are. We will stay consistent with who we believe we are. And that is consciously, subconsciously, it is happening. So, for example, if I believe I'm someone that procrastinates on a subconscious level, it might not be on my conscious right now, but if that's who I identify as, I'm a procrastinator. Let me tell you, how many cups of tea am I making before I do the work? I literally, I'm going to act in alignment with that. And I've got a quick example here because I was living in alignment with somebody who was not a morning person. You guys know this story. This is where kind of most of this identity shift began for me because that was just me. That was part of who, and that in that language there, that's just me. Like it doesn't
Yes.
like I invite you to if you ever hear yourself saying that, that's just who I am. Like know that you don't have to just be that. You can absolutely be somebody different. Like it's a choice. It's all a choice. And I mean that with love and compassion. And I was not a morning person until it became so frustrating and so I could just feel it was so out of alignment with who I wanted to be, and I didn't want to be that anymore, and it wasn't serving me. So I made a conscious shift to become a morning person. Like I wanted to take on that new identity. So I had to do the reprogramming. I had to believe I could be that, and then I had to start making the small shifts so that getting the evidence, the proof, following through, living it, doing it. And what happened over time, like I am a morning person. Like, if you just said this to me, Kat, X amount of years ago, you get up at 5:55 a.m., I probably would have laughed in it. I absolutely would have laughed in your face because I wouldn't have believed that because I was so true to that identity. That was a part of me. Like, you're not taking that away from me. Like, I'm a grumpy, non-morning person. And now it's like
Yes.
complete shift. So yeah, so just
Mm.
to really hammer that point home that we do act in accordance with who we believe we are.
Yeah,
So it's bringing those beliefs into the light, isn't it?
it
That
really
identity
is.
into the light.
And it's like you say, who you want to be,
Mm,
like we can tweak and change. And I think sometimes when we get to this point in life where we're stuck and things maybe aren't lighting us up as much as we once, they once did, or maybe they never did, that's not anything to feel bad about. That is something to get excited about because, as we say again and again, you can write a new chapter in your story whenever you choose. And the fact that you are stuck is just a sign that you've outgrown what once lit you up or what once worked. And that is okay, because that is life. That is part of being human. And so many people stay in that stuckness, dull it down, like keep it down, don't it? And I did for a long while. But now I look at it and I'm like, why? Why did I do that? But it was because I got so attached to that identity of being a stay-at-home mum. That's who I thought I should be.
Oh, hello.
Yeah,
You dropped that little should in there.
should as well.
Interesting. That we maybe take on identities of who we think we should be.
Yeah.
Mm,
And it's interesting, even like now, I've kind of said this before, but going through motherhood, having done the work now is really interesting. Because obviously, I've got to this point in time with Evan where he's turned one, and technically, right now, I am doing it all.
mm,
He's home. I don't have very much help. I am working in his nap times and in an evening, and if I can, do a morning. Like, and then the other times I'm with him and I'm all with him. And I'm so blooming proud that I've made that happen. But it's been really interesting, because then the going into being a working mum, which I'm hoping to kind of get a little bit more structure as of January, it's been that little shift again. I'm going, okay, I'm stepping into this now. Like,
mm.
I'm going to be the working mum. I always wanted to be. I always wanted that.
You
Like, and I
are.
am
You are
technically
already. I
now.
say you already are. Come on,
I'm just
see.
doing both.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
just been that shift to I can now move on to this next chapter, and I don't have to
Mm,
cling on to the stay-at-home mum label, because in my head that's what I set out to be. That's who I was for the girls. And obviously, sometimes guilt or stuff can come in if you've given one and
mm,
it's changed the next
mm.
time. But actually with awareness, I go, no, like this is great. Like this is and kind of what I've achieved, like whilst he has been small, but able to be so present, it's all due to who I believe I am.
So on that, how did you go from just a stay-at-home mum with a silly little idea to a female founder leading a global movement? Just tell us, how'd you do it?
Oh, well, I had to see what it was that I was labeling myself.
So kind
What
of
boxes was I putting myself in?
raise awareness of that current
Mm,
identity.
yeah. In order, we know this, like we cannot change what we are not aware of. Like we
Mm,
have to get aware, like what boxes are we putting ourselves in? What labels have we, attached to our forehead and are wandering around with day in, day out? And, it could be like you said, brought in the procrastination. Like it could
mm,
be, I'm a procrastinator. I'm not good at decision making. I'm not this. I'm not that. I'm just this. I'm just that. I have this silly little duh. Like all of those really dulled down small languages, like
mm,
catching those and actually just sitting with them, like seeing them. As
mm.
you know, we're huge advocates of journaling, getting them out so that it's not just in your head. Like, who do I believe I am?
Yeah.
What is my current identity? Boom, step
And
on.
it is simply asking, like we do not need to complicate this.
No,
It is simply like what how do I know, by asking ourselves that question. Like
yeah.
not enough people raise their awareness. Not enough people are living consciously. They're just letting it run the show, their subconscious, 95% of it. So you simply stop, you have your cup of tea, you grab a piece of paper and you grab a pen and you ask yourself, who do I believe I currently am? Okay, I don't follow through, or I'm not a morning person, or I've just got a silly little idea. You ask yourself, don't you?
Hmm.
And see
Yeah,
what comes up for you, and do it without judgment and without critique, because you're not there to
yeah,
berate yourself on paper. You're there to
no,
go, right, I'm ready to go inward and see what's currently. Let's just get our detective hat on. We know we like this. Always get a little magnifying glass, look like Sherlock Holmes, just go to the inner work and just explore and see what comes up for you. And
mm,
know that just like that in itself is bloody epic, isn't it? Because
yeah,
that's you going, wow, I know where I'm at, so I can choose where I'm going.
yeah, exactly that. And that's it. Then choose, how do you want to see yourself? Like,
Mm,
what is that new identity? Like for me, I had to like a female founder, global
mm,
movement, making a difference. Like I was already doing those things. And whether you're not or you are, like it's also about, I do apologize, my 11:11 alarm.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
11:11, guys.
And because you can always do the I am becoming as well. I'm
Yeah,
becoming someone like if you know what you it wants to feel if there's a shift in identity, let's say, so let's say we're currently identified as a procrastinator, but we actually want to be someone that just focuses, gets on and follows through. But if that just feels a little bit, if you can't get the buy-in in
yeah,
your mind or in your body, it can be I am becoming somebody who learns how to follow through, or I am. Do you know what I mean? You're kind of bridging
yeah,
that gap a little bit. If it just like if you want to go from, let's look at finances, like I earn 5,000 a month, or then to I earn 100,000 a month. Like if that just makes you go, oh, like I actually believe it's possible in the future, but for right now, that just
yeah.
doesn't feel right. Do bridge the gap in between, isn't it?
Hmm.
So that you can
It's
get
got to
on
be
board with it.
believable.
It's got to be
Yeah,
believable,
got to
and
be a
feel
push,
good.
but
It's
believable.
got to be a
Yeah,
push but believable, 100%.
yeah. And there is a
Sorry.
fine line between that, isn't there?
Yeah.
Definitely. So yeah, stepping into it, deciding what that new identity is, and actually upgrading it because there'll be so many things that are already there that possibly you're not claiming right now if you're still telling yourself you're this or you're that or
Mm,
using those different languages. Um, so yeah, really exploring that. And again, it gets to be simple. Who do I want to be? Who am
yeah.
I? Who
Mm,
really am I? Like ask yourself those questions. And like you say, this is the work that so many people rush past. And like, this is why I am so blooming glad that I met you. because
yay. Me too.
because literally I think had I not, I wouldn't have had that accountability the same to do this work. I don't think I would. And actually
Mm,
you were my mirror to not rush past this stuff. And what has happened as a result, like I've built a rock solid like foundation. Like I am everything that I've ever wanted to be for myself. And like I believe anything is possible. I can do anything, like all of these different, and this comes from this work. And the beautiful thing about this is, guys, we are giving you everything right now. So take it away and do it. Sit
mm,
with your journal, make it cozy, make it nice, make it just abundant, light the candle you've been saving for years.
yeah.
Claim this as your identity upgrade. So who are you believing you are? Who do I want to believe I am? Who am I? Who really, really am I? Look at that. Look at it. And then what's next? Proving it to yourself. And there's this question of like, who am I to do this? Ask yourself, who am I to do this? Give yourself the evidence of you already being it, already doing it. Like I say, with the global movement, we have got ladies all over the world. What is it going to take? What number is it going to take for me to claim that? No, they're there. Claim it now. So really, really giving yourself that proof, that evidence. And there's so many different ways as well. Like I say, it can be business, but also in life. Give yourself the evidence of what kind of friend you are. And this is where as well, like the whole taking yourself seriously. We can think that somebody else is like this, and this, but we don't take that time to see who we are. And actually, we can then very easily be something or do something that we just dismiss. Oh, that's just like everybody else, though.
Mm,
It's not like everybody else. It's like you,
mm,
and you've got to start seeing it.
mm.
And
You're
that's your
you.
proof.
That is, and we're all unique gifts. So it can't
Mm,
be anybody else because it's you.
yeah,
And nobody else is going to do the things you do the way you do. And the moment we see that magic within, like that just really, it's a
mm,
warming feeling, isn't it?
yeah. Like one of the things I was laughing about my own journey, I was like, one of my traits is I will smile at a stranger up until the very last second of them like walking past me because I would never want anyone to not feel seen.
Oh, that's
Like,
lovely.
and yet, and that, like, I've always done that. But
Yeah.
only in, the recent years have I claimed that as the person that I
Mm,
am so naturally.
mm.
Yes, some people might think it's a bit strange if they're like, I don't care. That is me. I am a light in the world and I want people to feel seen because I know what it's like to not feel seen.
Yeah. A smile. Oh, do you know what? A smile just, it goes a long way,
Doesn't
doesn't it?
it?
It really
Yeah.
does.
It
It
really,
really
really
does.
does.
So you give yourself the evidence, you give yourself the proof, and then what?
Oh, I love this bit.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to live
Mm-hmm.
it. We have got to live it. And by that, I mean acting in accordance to that new identity.
Yeah.
And we are the most, so our brain, if we want to do any reprogramming, the most powerful time to do it is 60 seconds before we go to sleep and 60 seconds the second that we have woken up, because our subconscious is still in that kind of like waking up zone, and we can pump some really good stuff in either side of the day there. So whether you write your new identity down and read it to yourself, literally just before you go to sleep, just as you wake up, like step into it, claim it, be it, give yourself the proof for it. So then once you've done that, you can then look at, right, what steps does she take today? Like looking at, all those things. Like for me, like you can imagine, right? The stay-at-home mum with the little idea she was playing around with, what her action steps were like compared to the woman, the female founder who has created a global movement of women. Like the actions that she takes compared to the actions that obviously my stay-at-home mum self took were very, very different.
Mm.
And we get to step into that now. And that looks like sending that email and not caring whether it's a yes or no, because it really does not matter. Like if it's a yes, amazing. If it's a no, boom, I've learned something, I can try again. Like really just stepping into those bigger action steps. And the beautiful thing with this is it's such an energetic shift before we
Mm.
even get to the action, that actually the action becomes so much easier.
It really
When you
does.
know who you are, you just naturally start being her.
It really does. And just to go back to an example, obviously I saw it with the change in my mornings, and I did it incrementally because going. That's why I said like bridging that gap, going from getting up very last minute, like 10 past 8 when the kids got to be out of the house, at like 20 past, slightly
Mm,
ridiculous, to getting up at 5 to 6. That couldn't happen overnight because I just wasn't. I didn't have the buy-in. So it
mm,
started with like 10 minutes at a time, but it was doing it. It was choosing that new identity and going, look, I'm doing it. I'm doing it 10 minutes at a time, and then eventually eked it back. But I also smile because I've seen the power in this in terms of like procrastination and follow through. Like I am
yeah,
somebody that follows through. And whenever I sit down and I notice myself, because I'm consciously living my days and I have great awareness, if I start to notice that I'm slipping into doing something else that I really had not planned to do, i.e., shifting my focus away from the thing that I'm going to follow through on, I notice that in an instant and I pull myself back and I jump back into I am somebody that follows through. So even the
yes.
awareness alone, the awareness, choosing the new identity. So aware
Mm,
I'm a procrastinator, my new identity is someone that follows through. The proof is that I have followed through in the past and I can complete things. But the living it is in the moment. You sit down, you look at your laptop and you're like, oh, feeling a bit of resistance here. Oh, I'll go make it. No, I will not make a cup of tea. No, I will not go put the washing out. I'm going to push through because I'm just feeling a bit of resistance because maybe I'm doing something new or something out of my comfort zone or whatever it
mm,
might be. But just even noticing it and having that awareness allows you
yeah,
to choose differently in the moment. And that's
yes.
and that's the huge empowering part is you bringing that control back within and going, well, hold on, what would somebody who follows through do right here in this moment? Because that's the person I'm becoming. Okay,
Yeah.
keep going with it. Keep going with the email or the document or whatever it is.
Make the tea after.
Make the tea after. The tea is now my reward. It's coffee, actually. Definitely
Yeah.
more a coffee girl. Um, but
But
yeah, it's
that's
a
interesting,
shift.
isn't it? Yeah. And it's you then get to the point where you are feeding into your new identity rather than feeding into the old one. But if we're honest with ourselves, like it's not working, is it? Because it's made us stay where we are.
And here's the crazy thing, and I don't think it's just me, but way back when, it's almost like sometimes you wait until you become the morning person to become the morning person. I don't know if that sounds a bit ridiculous, but it doesn't, you're just like, oh, well, I'll just become a morning person one day. It doesn't work like that. You have
It
to
doesn't.
do the morning person things to become the
Yeah,
morning person. Does that even make sense, what I've just
it
shared?
really does. And I
You
think
know,
this is what probably trips us up so much in terms of habits as well, because we've got to match those habits to actually who we believe we are. And
Mm,
that's where success lies, not
mm,
in adding a habit that works for somebody else that we're just trying to add on to an old identity that really is not buying into it. Like,
no.
I'm sorry, that is setting us up for an absolute, we don't believe in fail, but that's setting you up for a
Yeah.
fail, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we are what we repeatedly do. We are what we repeatedly do, and that's your day to day.
Hmm.
That's your day to day. So I'm getting up and I am embodying someone who is a morning person, somebody who follows through, somebody who takes messy, imperfect action, somebody who figures things out, somebody who has my own back. Like, how am
Hmm.
I going through my day? What are my habits looking like?
Yeah.
And that's your daily rhythm. That's just how you live, and that is the embodiment. And that is then when you don't really necessarily have to consciously think about this is the person I am. You just the good stuff drops into your 95%.
Yes. I love that. I love it.
Mm,
Oh, and a little bonus on this as well, just to bring us back to episode 1 of series 4. It's creating that pattern interrupt for yourself as well when you are,
mm,
when that sneaky little like old identity, because it will creep up because
mm.
basically what happens when you move into this new identity, of course, all these old pieces of yourself are going to get triggered and you're going to come up against resistance because they're going, hell no, like this is where we've been for so long. What you can do is be kind to those pieces, a huge advocate for that. I don't think it's about shunting them away. I think it's about lovingly releasing them and saying thank you for bringing me to this point. I'm choosing to let you go and let you just chill now. You can, you've done your job. Thank you.
Thank you, but I've got a
um,
better way. I'm going to show you a better
yeah,
way. Come with me.
yeah. But now I'm gonna fuck it and find out.
Yes.
Literally, I'm gonna,
Yes.
and just creating that moment for yourself where you go, yeah,
Mm,
this is my new
mm.
identity and I am stepping into it wholeheartedly.
Love that.
So,
Just
should
can
we
I just quickly
recap?
jump in there?
Oh,
Just
yeah.
add a quote that you
Yeah.
you you say that I'm probably going to fudge it, but Louise Hay, you've been
Yes.
criticizing yourself
For
for what
years.
for years, and it hasn't worked. Try approving of yourself and see what happens. Like that's the fuck it and find out, isn't it? Like if you've been
Yeah.
not the kindest to yourself for a long time, just dulling your light and keeping yourself small and just not being your bestest friend and biggest cheerleader. Just try something different. Try approving of yourself. Try seeing
Yeah.
how bloody incredible you are and that you
Mm.
get up every day and you do your best. It's always enough, no matter what that looks like. And just try that on and fuck it
Yeah.
and find out, and you will blow your mind at what you are capable of and the results of that and the ripple effect. Because when
Mm.
you go in and do the work on you, it's the most selfless act. It is bullshit if anyone thinks it's selfish. I'm calling
Mm.
that out now.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. It's the most selfless thing you can do because you
Mm.
are working on you. And when you've got you, everybody else benefits. Your
Yeah.
immediate family, your friends, the greater world around you, the ripple effect is real.
Yeah, it really is. And on that, this is something that kind of really kind of, I suppose, shook me into action was how I choose to talk to myself is how my daughters will choose to talk to themselves. And that hits hard, right? And
It
I
does.
see so many people online, so many kids saying affirmations. And I'm like, they are worthless if their mum is
Mm,
not embodying that and
mm,
their mum is sat in a sea of guilt and
mm.
feeling like she's not enough. And that was me. We want the best for our kids, like become the best us, and then they naturally are going to follow that. And we see it
100%.
through conditioning, and we can look at, in our own lives, how many, traits and wonderful ones, as well as maybe the ones that maybe we didn't choose, but come through from parenting, through being in school. Like
Mm,
it all comes through. So getting this right for ourselves, like you say, is the most selfless act we can do. Like, no more telling our kids to do affirmations if we're not blooming well doing them
no,
ourselves. No
no.
way.
It's the show them, don't tell them, show them because they're watching. They're
Yeah.
sponges and they're watching.
Mm.
And if you listen to this and you think, oh, I'm not being that, not being that, it's okay. Like, because I know in the early days, Charlotte, you
Yeah.
voiced to me like, oh, I'm worried because like I'm worried if I'm not. There's no right or wrong in parenting, is there? But you're like, oh, I'm only just kind of learning to do this work on
Mm.
myself, and what's the impact on the girls, like, and this, that, and the other. Like, just know that this is your starting point. Like, it's okay.
Yeah. And I did, you're right. I had to sit with that because I felt there were moments along the way over these past few years where I felt quite overwhelmed because I'm like, I
Mm,
feel like I am only just getting my head around all of this that I'm like, and you can see, the evidence of little pieces of me that have
yeah,
come with the girls already. But also there's huge pieces of who I am now that are within them. And it's what we choose to focus on. Because we're not, none of us are perfect. None of us are going to get it fully right. It doesn't exist. We're human. We feel all the emotions, do all the
mm,
things. But what we choose to focus on, we will see more of. And I have had, just the most beautiful past few months where mums have reached out to me and like literally said, one of the mums, she was like, we need more, my daughter needs more autumn in her life. Like,
oh,
and like that, the ripple of like, I think I've always had this worry of them being kind of easily swayed or that kind of thing. But I've just had these moments recently because I've chosen to focus on it where I'm like, no, they know who they are
mm,
and they are being that in that setting in school when I cannot see it. And I'm getting these messages where mums are so glad that she is a part of their daughter's world because she has such a calming, positive effect on them and doesn't get involved in the drama. Like she just is
there you
herself.
go, there you
And
go.
so it's there, like, and I haven't done anything. I haven't sat down and taught her anything. I haven't sat down and told her to do any affirmations, by the way.
No, you've shown her
Yeah.
by being the change.
Hmm. And literally, I laugh because I still have got it up. I can't take it down. But on my mirror, I've got "It's my time now" as like my affirmation. And then Autumn wrote on it, "Yes, it's your time." And then April wrote on it something else at the top, "Yes, it's definitely your time," or something like that. And they just, and like that, it wasn't meant for them. It was meant for me. But they've
Hmm.
seen me do that. They see me wake up every morning and I'm going to say it, I put my headphones in to meditate.
Hmm.
Yes, I give them a cuddle and a kiss, but I put myself first. I meditate.
Hmm.
I don't start the day with a load of demands. Like, I just don't do that anymore. Like, because who I choose to be is who they will follow. So it all ties into identity and seeing those pieces just to bring it back as well. Again, taking myself seriously as a mum.
Mm.
Like, we do so many incredible things. Like we are having such a profound impact on their lives, but we have to take that seriously and we have to see it so that we can embody it and be more of it and actually see the results. Because otherwise, what are we aiming for? We're
Mm.
just going to keep focusing on the ways that we're not enough. If we focus on the ways we're not enough, we're never going to be enough. We focus on the ways that we are enough. Hello, peace,
We're in a
guilt,
yes.
goodbye. Like, I'm good. I am good. So, just to bring it back, take yourself seriously. Take your value seriously. Take who you are seriously. Like the world depends on it because it does. Every woman who rises, like 10 do, if not more, right?
Oh, absolutely. And if you want to make a shift, know that you can. It is just a choice away. That's all.
It really is. It really is. Oh, thank you for listening. And as ever, guys, let us know what lands. We love, love, love seeing you guys pop into our DMs and sharing your takeaways, your moments, the ways that you've grabbed all of this information and started living it. Like, it's so powerful. So drop into our DMs and let us know, and wishing you all a wonderful, wonderful day.
See you soon, guys. Take care.
Bye. Bye,
Bye.
guys. What if today was the last day you ever woke up and thought, is this it? You were not born to settle. And in 1 hour inside Wake Up Excited, we'll prove it to you. Wake Up Excited is a free masterclass for the woman who is ready to stop settling and start living life on her terms. In just 60 minutes, you are going to rewrite the story you're living by and reignite the spark that makes you wake up excited again. Your next chapter doesn't start someday. It starts the moment you choose it. And if this conversation lit something up inside of you, this is your moment. The link is waiting for you in the show notes, and we cannot wait to see you there.